Today I'm doing a full colourful face of Half Magic Beauty. This is the new brand from Donni Davy. She's the makeup designer and department head on Euphoria. And to be honest, it's just one of my favourite new brands in years. Everything is so colourful and fun and really easy to use. You'll see that when I create this look, so I hope you enjoy. As always, everything I've used is listed in the description of the video, so the title will come up along the bottom. If you tap that and expand it, a full list of products will pop up. Just on the top, there's so much I want to tell you about Half Magic, so I feel like the best thing for me to do for this video is to just start doing my makeup, talk you through as we go along, and then I'll kind of come on to everything I've used towards the end. But this is going to be more of a big chat than anything. So to begin, I'm going to use Chromaddiction. This is like a creamy matte eyeshadow in the shade We Are Aliens, and start telling you this story. So, Christmas time, Christmas just gone, I had never seen the TV programme Euphoria, and I love TikTok, so I was always seeing people doing their Euphoria makeups on there. I had no idea really what the show was about or anything, and one of my best friends loves it and he's always telling me to watch it. So we'd gone to the cinema, we'd gone to see the new Scream. And you know when you're like, oh, what will I start? I'd obviously just finished some box set or another. And he was like, I don't understand why you're not taking me up on watching Euphoria. And he said, you'd love the makeup as well. How haven't you watched it? And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, like every episode, this is someone that could not care less about makeup. Every episode, the makeup is incredible. And, you know, that's as much a part of it as anything. So I decided to give it a go. Side note, I would always tell you as well, if I didn't work in makeup, I would have loved to have worked in film or TV or with animals, but I don't think I'd be able to work with animals because I'd take them all home. But like nothing gives me greater pleasure than like a new film, a new TV series. I get absolutely obsessed with things. So I started watching Euphoria. Absolutely hook, line and sinker for it. At this time, I also told my friend Laura to start watching it. So the two of us were watching it. And I've honestly never seen anything like the importance of the makeup in the show. I know that makeup artistry is such a popular thing, whether it's online, whether you're reading a magazine, a book, a film, whatever. But this to me was the most artistry expression of makeup that I have seen in I honestly don't know how long. And it was so different than anything I'd seen because in particular, look at the colours I'm using today. One of the things I really noticed is that there would be one pop of a colour at the right moment or in the right light. And it was a whole different approach to colour and expressing yourself. And I basically just became obsessed with the whole thing. So love the show, like absolutely obsessed with the show, obsessed with the makeup. So then the next thing obviously that you do is Google all the cast and find out all about them. What have I missed? Can't believe I've been living under a rock. And then I was like, who are the makeup team? Now, if this didn't get any better, you then go onto the makeup team's pages and they give you a breakdown of all the makeups, a whole story behind it. It's such a big part of the storytelling. So I just felt like all my Christmases had come at once. So there's a whole group of makeup artists that work on the show, but the makeup lead and department head is Donni Davy. And I was reading all about Donni and her background, and basically the whole vision that Sam Levinson had for the show was that makeup would be celebrated as a form of self-expression, and Donni was the person to bring this to life. So then on the internet, you start watching all their YouTube interviews, you want all the information you can. She basically said she couldn't believe the impact it had had on people online, kind of replicating the colourful makeups and calling it Euphoria makeups. And I thought this was really lovely and really humble as well. She said, I was actually inspired by you. So you think you've been inspired by me, but I was going on all of your TikToks and pages and getting the inspiration from your generation, putting it onto the screen, and now you think it's come from me and it was this lovely circle. So then Kirby Johnson, a journalist in America who contributes to Allure, did this like Euphoria makeup tour of the trailer where they do the makeup, and this was just like the obsession went to whole new depths. So by the way, I've started following Kirby since then. If you want like a really great journalist to follow that's just a bit different, I could watch everything that she says about, she talks about a lot of new brands, or like she'll give commentary on things that are generally happening in beauty, whether it's something a bit sad like a brand closing, or she's done quite a few recently on like celebrity makeup launches, because obviously there's been quite a few, like whether it's Hailey Bieber or, I mean, gosh, there's been a whole host of celebrity launches, hasn't there? But anyway, Kirby does this makeup tour. You get to see not only the things that they're using, but hear a bit more about the inspiration for this makeup. So for example, a couple of things that I saw and then bought, you know the Face Atelier Ultra Foundation Pro? I've used it a couple of times on here. She basically explained that their vision for the show is that as much as possible, ideally no one would wear foundation so that the real skin shows through, and you know, it's as fresh as possible. It's not really about having this whole face of colours, it's about having these moments that kind of stand out. And that one is great because it just looks like your skin, and it's one of the best foundations I've used on myself. For me personally, my goal is always that I've covered my redness but I don't look or feel too heavy, and it does that, and it gives a really natural skin-like finish. But I learned all about this stuff. I finished series 1 and then series 2 started just as I'd caught up with all of this. So then every week I had my new episode, became just like completely immersed. And I think because I was quite late to the party, to say the least, like I was so invested at this point. I'm just going to let this dry for a moment, by the way. How lovely is that already? And then I'm going to layer a little bit of glitter on top. This is the Chromaddiction in A.S.M.R. While I remember just quickly, in terms of for your kit, this was something really crucial that I wanted to say that's a bit more of the product review. There is nothing more annoying than when you've got loads of things in the same shape. Lipsticks is a big one, and you can't see what colour it is. And everything has a little way, somewhere or another, for you to see the colours. The lips, for example, have these stickers so you can see exactly what's rolling around in your makeup bag. It's things like that that honestly would be the difference between you picking one thing up over another. Because with the exception of like MAC, who I feel like for those of us that are obsessed with makeup, you just know your MAC shades like the back of your hand. I don't know what a 206 is and a 219 and any of these numbers in the luxury brands. Well, all the brands do it. So anything that you can see the colour is absolutely number one in my book. And after that little side note, we've probably dried that green enough to go in with some glitter. So anyway, the next thing, imagine you're at the height of your obsession, you've Googled everyone, you've literally bought all the gems that you can get your hands on online, you're doing all of this colourful stuff. It emerged that Donni was bringing out a makeup brand. So I was just like, don't even know what this is going to be, because I feel like the precedent was so high. Where are we even going to begin with what she's going to create? And do you know what I think she's done, which is just amazing? On TikTok, she made this video one day and said after the first series, she was inundated with people. I'm going to put this on the back of my hand and then apply. She was inundated with people that wanted to know how to recreate the looks. But like, we're not all makeup artists, we're not all experts. We also, like, not all of us have the time. So how would you do this in a way that's really accessible? And I really feel like the formulas of what she's created mean that whether you are a total beginner or whether you're a makeup artist and you want something professional, you will be able to achieve Euphoria levels of makeup because everything is so user-friendly. So So there's a number of things in the collection. There's these matte eyeshadows, which are really lovely and vivid. How easy was that to blend? I wasn't even concentrating because I was harping on so much. Then you have these liquid glitters. Now, I love a glitter. You know me, I love loose glitters. For example, like the peaches and cream pigments are just my absolute number one fave. But the one thing I will say with loose glitters is that they're a bit overwhelming when you're not used to them. And often people will ask me, what do you set it with? How do I apply it? Do I mix a mixing medium into it? Do I do my makeup first? All of these questions. While we're talking about iconic TV moments, I feel like it's quite fitting to use a little Stranger Things brush for this, by the way. So all of these creamy formulas mean that you can play with everything, get the results that you want, but you're not going to end up with it all over your face. And I also really think that's quite powerful when you're using these brighter colours and textures, because there's a little bit of bravery that goes into these kinds of things. And you might think to yourself, I really like the idea of it, but am I brave enough? I'm just going to go straight onto the lid, by the way, to really amp this up. You might be thinking, am I brave enough? Is it going to suit me? And the nice thing about them being creams is that you can build and build until you reach a point that you're really happy with. And again, you're not going to ruin the rest of your face. Because let's be honest here, those of us that love glitter, it's not the easiest thing to get off once it has spilled. So what else do I need to tell you? So basically, I feel like I've been using these things for ages because, as you can hear, I'm like obsessed and always going to speak from this quite biased point. And at the end of the day, one of the things that I always keep in mind and really return to, one of my previous jobs was I was a beauty personal shopper at Selfridges. And when you're face to face with someone in that capacity and you've picked everything that we need and you're about to go to the till or whatever, you have that really visual representation that like these things are a lot of money for someone to get to the end of the month, prioritise what am I going to buy, what am I going to not, what am I going to get a lot of use out of. And it's never lost on me that if I've recommended something to you or I'm showing you something that I think is good, that you may potentially spend your money on that. And that's something I never lose any sight of, because let's say, for example, I'm so lucky to be around all of the makeup I'm around. But when it comes to another category that's nothing to do with me, whether it's clothes or I don't know, like what do I get when I see it online? We all have things, don't we? I've got a great example. Like, I feel like I never shut up about this, but the Dyson Airwrap, I spent a fortune on that, and that is not right for my hair type, and I barely get any use out of it. So it's not lost on me. I'd never want you to feel the way I feel in that moment about why didn't I just do a bit more research on that? It's not right for me. So I really wanted to be careful with Half Magic. I knew I was just going to be obsessed with it, but I have given this such a long, thorough road test before coming to you. And I'm telling you now, if you like your more ethereal things, you're going to absolutely love this. It's quite funny, actually. Like, on this page, I absolutely love. My favourite thing is, like, if you have something that you're trying to nail and you haven't quite got there yet and you want to ask, like, how do I best do that, or how could I get that to look great? I love answering those kinds of questions. But, like, because of that, I can't really say in the last few months I've had anyone say, I just can't nail my lime green glittery smoky eye. Can you give me a tutorial on that, please? So sometimes it's been a while since I've done something that I would genuinely wear on a night out or feel great in. So even though I'm probably wearing really classic things day to day, this is the kind of thing that, like, I'd be absolutely buzzing to go to the pub garden in for the weekend. Which colour am I going to use now? I feel like... Let me just show you. So these are the glitter pills. This is the nice thing about Half Magic. There's so much to choose from, and I actually am a bit overwhelmed about where to go next. Obviously the green kind of matches, but I might go into this little bronzy gold. What I would say to you is, as subtle as you want to go or as bold as you want to go, there is a format for everyone. Look how tiny the handle of the glitter pill is. Even if you wanted to put a tiny little bit like near your lashes or something, there is a way that it will look really wearable, right the way up to if you want to do something a bit more creative here with me. Another thing that I wanted to mention, if you like the idea of your gems, these are kind of the iridescent ones. It's even things like she's used medical grade adhesive, so it will last really well. You can then peel them off and reuse them so that you're getting lots of use out of them. But generally, I just think to bring the magic of Euphoria to life, she couldn't have done a lovelier job. But that said, I feel like as well, whether or not you're a Euphoria watcher or someone that wants to create that kind of thing, there is everything from a real beginner's beauty colour right the way up to if you want to really go for it. Now, glitters are on. In terms of wear, they don't drop down, they last really well, they don't crease. I feel like as well, when the light hits them in different ways, it really picks them up. But whether or not that's for you, the thing that I would really bring your attention to, I'm going to take my lippy off, is the lip kits, which I'm going to show you now. Before I go forward, actually, one little thing I would say, in particular if you've used glitters, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have had my mascara already on, but I was filming something else earlier. Definitely do your mascara last. Or if you've done like a little jazz up, I would go over your mascara again. Not only will that just help to ensure that if you've got any drop down, you've picked up the lashes again, but also I would say that any kind of colours that you're not the most used to or maybe confident in, when you've got the framework of all of your usual things, whether it's like your lips, your brows, base, whatever, they feel that bit more wearable because everything else is completely normal. Now then, part 2 of what we have are these Mouth Cloud matte lipsticks. Caveat, I'm never a matte person, whether it's complexion, lips, it's really not for me. These are the creamiest mattes, they feel really comfortable. And then the liners, again, this won't be for everyone, it's definitely for me. These liners do not come off. You are literally cleansing and cleansing them to get them off, which is brilliant because it means that during the day you can have as many cups of tea as you want, water, wine, whatever you're on for the day, go for it, and they're not going anywhere. So I'm going to show you, what colour will we do? I'll show you a red in another video. I'll go for like a nice simple kind of pinky brown today. So these are the Sculptitude 2-in-1 lip crayons. Do you know what I love about this? You've got 2 different shades. In the case of this one, this is probably one of the more everyday colours that I would wear. You've got your softer pink and then a slightly deeper pink. Both of these have quite a brown undertone to them. Let me show you what I mean, like whether you wanted to deepen your existing lip or just even create a lip using the 2 colours, you can do so many things with these. So that's Ballerino, and I'm going to go all over the lip with that one. Then I'm going to take a tiny bit of Hot Potato. And then I'm going to top this with the Mouth Cloud in Mr. Cheeky Pants. Let me just show you the Light Trap powders. These are really buttery. This one is called Enter the Glow. And I think the nice thing about these as well is when you've got like a nice shimmery powder, if your blending isn't 100%, it just softens the whole thing and makes you look like you've done a much smoother job of everything. So that's half magic. And do you know another thing, when I was thinking about this brand, one of the things that I love about this page is that I love just having a chat and hearing what you want to see in your makeup or any questions that you have. And something that always really rings true to me is that for years we've learned these rules. I don't know where they've come from, but there are these, you know, preconceptions that you can't wear this or can't wear that depending on your age or your eye colour or whatever it might be. And I just really love that this brand has come along where there are literally no rules. Half of the colours, like if I show you one of the lip duos, you've got Honestly Yes, this hot pink on one side, and then you've got Don't Be Confused, which is like the blue of my blouse on another. The whole point of makeup is that it's meant to be fun, and if it makes you feel good, that's the most important thing. I know whenever I do glittery makeups like this, someone will always say, I don't like it, it's not for me. But like, that's not the point. I feel nice in it, and that's the point. So I just feel like this brand, what Donnie's done on that show, is so much more than just makeup for a TV show. She's actually set off this whole new wave of makeup being there to be enjoyed and nothing else. And I think actually the measure of that is just completely immeasurable. But anyway, let me know if you enjoyed learning about Half Magic as much as I did. And another girl I'm going to put you on to, Old Green Eyes Emma in Dublin. Actually, she's not in Dublin. She's basically in Ireland. The last time I saw her was in Dublin. She loves Half Magic too. So head over to her. She's done quite a few nice ones with the periwinkle blue actually. But she's another one that'll be making a load of looks. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll chat to you very soon. Take care.